Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Week 10 Unabated Underdog Pick'em show here. Very simple process. We're going to fire a bunch of Pick'em entries over on Underdog using the tools and projections that you can find over on Unabated. We're going to find some winners. We're going to ship some 8-leggers, some anytime touchdowns. We're going to break out how to win this week. So let's hang out for the next hour or so. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer. Yes, brother, we're back. My man was available to make some picks this morning. How are you doing on this this beautiful fall crisp morning?
Ooh, it is crisp. I got, it's Texas fall, so I've got the window just slightly cracked. It's a beautiful breeze coming in here right now. I mean, the vibes are immaculate. Thank you for inviting me back. I thought we had some fun last week. We didn't get home, but we got close, and
we did.
It's all about the process. It's all about the process,
It's all about the process, and the strategy that I employ on a lot of these entries is if you get an 8-legger, you're probably going to have a pretty good year. Like, is basically the way that works. I've already hit one 8-legger this year, so if I hit another, it's basically gravy. All the money that I have lost on underdog.com/nickrudman.com is there. It's all in BRs. It's all donating in battle royales. So normally I use the DFS Pick'em tool over on Unabated. It is not operational right now. It probably is operational, but I cannot get it to load. This is what the screen looks like when I try an ape in, and so instead it's just very easy. And I probably should use this more often, but I'm just going to use the odds page over on if you just go to NFL props, it's very simple. And then you click this nice little simulate button, and it can give you a bunch of good lines. I'm realizing the first line that Mr. Cardi wants me to take is under on Malik Neighbors, wants me to take a lower on Malik Neighbors. So,
oh, wow.
Already disagreeing with Mr. Cardi. So that's a fun way to start. Nez, just kind of high level.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on the slate this week? Are there any games where you think the market is off? Are there any games that you think are just gross? You don't want to touch anyone. What are some of your big Do you draft BRs early in the week, or are you a Friday, Saturday, bro?
I'm a big time believer that I have the early edge. I have the time, and this is my full-time thing is playing these BRs. So I think it's important, with all those factors that I get in early and, believe in my edge against the early markets. I think that's the biggest edge in fantasy right now is if you can hit these BRs early, you do it, because you're just never going to get discounts that you can get on a Monday or a Tuesday. So where my current edges are not the same as the pick'ems, the pick'ems, I think I'm at the point of the season where I'm starting to give the market a little bit too much respect. And I'm just trying not to be agnostic, for fantasy, for content purposes and for my own play style. It's important that I have some convictions, but my run was very early in the season, and then after that, the models were okay, you had your turn. We got it from here. So that being said, man, I like my edge in the BRs this week. For pick'ems, there are some spots, but I think things are pretty sharp right now.
Yeah, they are. From the median, I think they're all very sharp. I'll tell you what my new thing is. Very small ladders. I'll show you one. I'll show you one from last night, actually. So these ladders. Chase Brown, his receiving yardage prop was 23.5, moved it to 29.5. Andrews was 39.5, moved it to 49.5. Now, obviously, the Lamar Jackson rushing touchdown, Jamar Chase ladders. I just think and someone who's good at math is probably watching this and rolling their eyes. I think there is something not accounted for in the way that football is not an iterative sport, but it is an events-based sport, in basically just bell curving these lines. Because, for example, Jamar Chase is much more likely to hit 149.5 receiving yards than even Justin Jefferson, for example, but they would be priced the same way.
Right.
Like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase get their catches. It's just all in a slightly different way. So that has been the thing that I've been trying out a lot recently. Well, I've been doing that because our good friends, our overlords over at Underdog have now given us the ability to do the sliders on desktop. So you don't have to pull the phone out. So let's just go ahead and start here over on the receiving yards prop screen and see if anything particularly jumps out at us. I mean, it is going to be, well, what we should do is we should start looking for overs that look sort of good. And then we can go from there. Don't love Cardi simming Justin Jefferson out at 88.16 yards. I gotta be honest.
Is he typically lower on Jefferson? Or is that just like maybe he's really baking in some game script stuff?
Some game script stuff. No, normally, he goes the other way. Yeah. Cardi generally on elite high-end guys will be under the line, and my experience on Derek's stuff is that he tends to be over on all of the dust balls, and lower, like he'll have Alvin Kamara lower, and look, we got the tools back, so we're gonna go back over. We're gonna go back over here.
Yeah, I need the edge visualized. I need to know exactly how much edge because
the edge
Cardi's gonna give it to you, man. Like it's so much fun to see to see Cardi's projections, because like it's so much fun to use him for these shows, because he just is gonna give it to you, man. He just you know what, nuts on the table. He's a big time Derek Carr guy. So I saw Carr guy. At least that's what I remember from like. I think it was like 2022. He was like huge on Derek Carr.
So I literally right now on the last stream and this stream, I am streaming on a brand new computer, and I don't know exactly what it's doing yet. So I'm getting the spinning wheel right now, and I'm trying to fix that live. But you are right. I know for a fact that he is going to be the top one is very likely to be. There we go. I got it. Yeah, Derek Carr hires. Could have bet my life. There's two things going on there. The first thing is Cardi is always going to apply a super boost to the dome games. His stuff is very sensitive to contextual factors. So that right there is going to be one of them. In fact, I'll bet right now Mason Tipton higher receiving yards, a gold star play from our boy Derek Cardi. And you know what? I got absolutely no issue with this one. I actually think that is very good.
He's the wide receiver one there, right? I mean, like I'm not missing anything. Chris Olave just out of the hospital, and I mean, dude's taking a beating this season, and it's a prime spot for any wide receiver one. It doesn't matter who you are against the Falcons. It's a favorable spot as we well know. So I'm in line here with this start.
Dare I say a gold star play potentially, Mason Tipton higher receiving yards. Now this is exactly what I mean, that Cardi loves the dust balls and doesn't hate, but just does not love the stars as much. He's got a higher on Cooper Rush, higher passing yards, but he's got the lower on Kyron Williams rushing attempts and rushing yards, lower on Saquon Barkley rushing yards. Which is like you bear these things out. You do these long enough, and you are 100% going to be correct. But it's just not fun, right? There's just, I mean, imagine your whole week settling on Cooper Rush completing a 17-yard pass to Kavontae Turpin to get your 5-legger there.
I don't hate the Cooper Rush call by Cardi, I will say. I mean,
no, let's do it. Let's do it then. Let's do. I don't hate it either, because I don't know what Dallas's plan could possibly be other than to have Mr. Rush pass the ball 32 times. When Cooper Rush has started before, they've been super run heavy. But when Cooper Rush, he was 4-1 2 years ago, I believe. The defense was really good. They had Zeke and Pollard, like the non-totals. I mean, Zeke was pretty bad then, but he's not as bad as he is now.
You might remember like the fake QB controversy too. I mean, it was fake, but like the fans were like, "Hey, Cooper Rush looks good. Like maybe we leave him in here." So I mean, he's been around for a while. This isn't just, I mean, he's a dust ball, but he's not just like some like washed up dust ball. He's been in the system for a while, and it heavily relies on CeeDee Lamb suiting up and playing, I think, but. I like the call, man. I think that there's a lot of hate baked into that number.
No, he's CD practiced in full yesterday, so I'm pretty sure that he is going to go in this one. I do like both of these call outs from Derek on both the Rodgers and the Kyler higher passing yards. The Rodgers one in particular. I mean, Cardi. For Cardi to be high on he's been lower on the Rodgers passing stuff pretty much all year. And I think this is pretty just reflective of the Arizona Cardinals defense. But do you have a lean on Rodgers or Kyler?
No, I would definitely go that angle for sure. I mean, I think this game is going to be a lot of fun. What I like about it is that I think the Jets defense is I've been saying I think it's worse with Saul
way worse.
Yeah. So there's some ability for them to like play catch up, have to go blow for blow. Another week to mesh with Devontae Adams. We've seen Garrett Wilson obviously look awesome, and the Arizona defense is one that we target every week. So I'm in on this.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Nice and easy. I see a Devon A-chain lower, and I immediately scroll past. I've got absolutely no interest. So Ramondre and DeAndre Swift, I feel like they might kind of be the keys to BR this week because there's going to be a ton of rushing attempts in that game. Like one of those guys, I feel like is so likely to be in Peter's Deposit Kingdom video that comes out this afternoon. Right? I don't know which one. I think we see a ton. I think we see a ton of Ramondre here. Do you have a lean there?
Love it. I do a lot of Ramondre in the dog bowls. He's really cheap for a running back. I mean, there's so many RB1s this week that you can draft from. Ramondre has been one of my favorites. I like this number. I'm in on this.
All right, there we go. Bang. I don't love betting on Ramondre efficiency, but man, honestly, Ramondre is one of those weird guys where you might rather take him to score a touchdown than get the rushing yards, because it's like, well, he just seems to always do it. But we'll do the rushing yards on this one. Let's see here. Yeah, Tyreek lowers, A-chain lowers. That's classic Cardi.
Yeah.
Foster Moreau high receiving yards. I mean, he was just playing straight wide receiver last week. Like,
yeah, that's an interesting one.
It's pretty interesting.
I guess my heart tells me to do Jawan, but I see, that's a big separation.
I bet he's got a higher on Jawan. It's pretty close. 4% edge, but I agree.
The Underdog is way higher on Jawan, obviously.
Yeah, the vibes are more directionally accurate. I think. Which one? Let's skip it. We can maybe come back.
Okay. Yeah, you were about to talk. Who are you looking at? You
Bucky Irving higher rushing attempts. I mean, it feels like he is the early down rusher. I mean, how many did he get against Kansas City? Feels like that game kind of got away from them, and he got 7 against Kansas City. I don't know.
Well, that's a different story. Here's my take, because I was looking at this game pretty heavily as well and closely, and with Kansas City, I think you should be careful how we analyze those numbers, even in a close game, because KC controls the game so much, and there's just a lot less plays for the other team with the way Kansas City plays. It's just a death by 1,000 cuts. Now the Niners, sort of the same way, where they don't play as fast paced as you would think, but they're just like incredibly efficient. And I think they have more big plays that can speed up the game, right? Like they're not like trying to get plays off as soon as possible, but they are gaining more yards like per snap than Kansas City is my lean, especially with CMC back. So all that to say, that I like the idea of taking a higher on Bucky rush attempts. I just think that this game is a little bit different if you do want to do that than the Chiefs game that they just played.
All right, well, you sold me there. So let's go ahead and fire. Let's go ahead and fire this first data-based pick'em entry. So we started
with data. That's not too late.
Pick'ems with data.
It's not too late to change the type.
I'm not going to do this, but I'm pretty tempted to maybe fire one, just scaling Mason Tipton up to like 49.5. Let's just take. We'll
hitting
we'll
the
take
reuse
the base.
players button and doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like that. All right, Cooper Rush. Higher passing. This will, people love the hires. I guarantee you, the Cooper Rush higher passing yards, not a popular selection on Underdog Fantasy.
So are you laddering Mason, or?
I'm not gonna ladder him on this one. That might be a Sunday morning.
Are you doing the? Is this your insurance play?
This is gonna be
the flex play.
Yeah, we are gonna. I'm gonna insure this one. Okay.
I'm doing
this. I think we do a Ramondre Tud. I think we do touchdown. I just like him to score a touchdown more than I like him to get rushing yards. Like, what's more likely? Ramondre Stevenson gets 8 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns, or 75 scrimmage yards and no touchdowns? Feels like 2 touchdowns, 8 scrimmage yards, way more likely for him.
I mean, I'm with you. It's sort of like, this is such a bad comparison, but like, first thing that comes to mind to me is like the Todd Gurley season, whenever like he started off with like really poor efficiency. And I just remember the one game he had like 2 rushing touchdowns and like 50 rushing yards. And regardless, that's Ramondre's role at the goal line. And you run on the Bears. That's how you make your money against the Bears. So I like the idea of playing both sides.
All right, bang. Pick'em entry number 1. I will throw that in the chat, and I will actually put it in the YouTube description as well.
Nice.
So people can tell that if they want it later. We've got Mason Tipton higher, 27.5 receiving yards. Cooper Rush, 207.5 passing yards. Aaron Rodgers higher, 240.5 passing yards. Ramondre Stevenson to score a touchdown. Bucky Irving higher, 7.5 rushing attempts. All right. That was the data. That was unabated.com. That was Cardi's Blitz projections. Now it's time to fire from the hip. At least one. we got to do touchdown one. Now, very important. Let's check the Vulture protection list.
Yes.
CMC is on there. Kyron, Chase Brown would have been on there. Brees, Swift, Taylor, Mixon, Najee, Saquon, Kamara, Aaron Jones, Chubb, Jacobs, Pollard. I'm trying to see if there's anyone interesting on there.
Gibbs is interesting.
Gibbs is a little interesting. That is it because you're so likely to get refunded on that leg, honestly.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt probably is also a pretty good one to get refunded because of like the Noah Gray, McCole Hardman bullshit.
Yeah, it has to be like a rush, right? Like it has to be some like a rushing touchdown, I think, right?
It has to be a rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
When this TD is scored, is defined as a rush TD scored by a player who is not a designated RB. So that is your
okay.
That's your Taysom Hill for Kamara, by the way. That is McCole Hardman for Kareem Hunt. Yeah. So we have plenty there. All right, spoiler alert. I'm going to go ahead and start with the easiest pick of the week. Devon A-Chain to record a rushing or receiving touchdown. I mean, you should get like a 0.3x multiplier on that. That just he just starts. John knows. Man.
Yeah,
he
read you like a book.
He knows. We are going to begin by clicking Devon A-Chain. All right, Nez, it's on you, brother. You can look up whoever you want.
I mean, that Gibbs one, man. I know I said it already when we were looking at that list, but it's a slight dock. But it seems like last year they kind of slow played like the Gibbs like 1A role in Detroit. Seeing it again this season, where it just seems like they are slowly letting Gibbs become the guy. I like it against Houston. I think they're gonna probably eclipse like 30 total rushing attempts. if we're going tight, if we're going like the vulture route, that would be my suggestion.
I think probably you are actually in aggregate losing a little bit of expected value from that promotion existing because it's very clearly priced in, I think.
For Gibbs for sure, I think. Yeah. I can confirm using Unabated again here, and I can confirm that if you want to give us one.
Yes. All right. Let's see. What is Tyrone Tracy? Tracy is. Oh God. I'm definitely not taking that. I'm definitely not taking Tyrone Tracy 0.94x to record.
But look at these numbers, man. Look at that. I mean, they expect him to go nuts.
What is a Daniel Jones rushing touchdown? I'm not going to include this, but I might include this on another one. Daniel Jones 1.73x to record a rushing touchdown against the Panthers. To be honest,
that's just good, clean fun.
I don't hate it. Kareem Hunt without a negative multiplier. I guess it is a slight negative multiplier when you account for juice. You're taking. You know what? You're right, Dan. Let's take a lower for once in our lives. Let's take a lower. Let's take Tyrone Tracy. Lower? Tracy. Oh. I'm sorry, dude. That is a crazy price on Tyrone Tracy. It's still the Giants. I don't care that it's the Panthers.
Giants is the Giants.
It's still Javonte Williams. I mean, I remember being all in on Javonte Williams in this spot against the Panthers, and the Broncos put up a bazillion points, and Javonte Williams averaged 2.6 yards per carry and did not get there. I'm not saying that Tracy is a bad play or that you shouldn't take him in DFS contests or start him in fantasy. Right. I think.
I think you're right. I think if you were to shop around, I think you would find that this is a pretty getting a multiplier on the lower. Is pretty nice.
And Singletary is not a zero either. He's not Tracy is clearly a starter, but Singletary is still playing. It's like a 70-30 split. I am philosophically opposed to this, but maybe Dobbins has a very good touchdown price.
I was about to throw that in there. Are we strictly doing touchdowns on this one?
Yes, this is all. This is the octopus. Okay. The octopus with a leg cut off when Tyrone Tracy does not record a touchdown. Dobbins is 1.0x.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I love it. Okay. This is an O-line D-line mismatch according to the ETR. I think it's Thorn. Yep, yeah. The Thorn article has it as a mismatch. I'm a big time believer that the Titans defense is overrated, anyways. And the Chargers are kind of a wagon right now. I mean, they do this, right? They trick us. They tricked me my entire life, but they look like a wagon, like a sneaky wagon. People don't know it yet.
Yeah. Okay. I do like that one. I mean, Kareem Hunt to score a touchdown does feel legitimately free. There is no
single multiplier. That's beautiful.
There is no free lunch in this world, but let me tell you, I would be stunned to live in a world where Kareem Hunt does not get a rush attempt from inside the 3-yard line. Not saying he's going to convert it, but I would be stunned to see if he did not get a rush attempt from inside the 3-yard line. That's just how it is.
He's he looks so. I mean, this is such an awful superlative. He just looks awesome in the Chiefs right now, and he's scored a touchdown in every game except for the very first game he suited up for the Chiefs.
No touchdowns in that game. 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown, averaging 3.7
against the Broncos. I mean, I feel like this is a sneaky trap game, right? But regardless, Kareem.
You kind of, if you're taking Chiefs hires, you want it to be a sneaky trap game. You want them to have to play, 4 quarters of as serious as the Chiefs can possibly get on offense. They can't really get that serious, but we can try to make them serious. All right, we need that's 5. We need 3 more for the octopus.
All right, let's go to. I mean, we're probably not trying to get docked too much, right? I don't know how far you're willing to go.
We've got multipliers with A-Chain, Tracy, Dobbins, so we could get docked a little. We've got room. We've got room to eat at least 1 dock.
I would like to just put a Saquon out there? Because before you look, what do you think the doc is on Saquon to score?
0.78.
I would think so too.
Wow. Okay. 0.85x.
I mean, Nick Sirianni is gonna run the score up so fucking much against these Cowboys. Like this is he loves that they are just hapless. He can't wait to
Barkley
kick them
to score?
down.
What is he to score too? I'm not gonna do it, but I kind of like it. I do kind of like it.
Definitely in consideration.
All right, so with 6 legs, that's getting us 0.284x. So we do need a multiplier here. We need to decide on someone we like who's a little bit. What is Mr. Samuel to record a touchdown?
He's a multiplier.
Yeah, 1.19x. That gets us to 43.
And I like this too because, CMC, they're going to use him a ton, but definitely I think more than most CMC games, like Debo has a chance to get some goal line carries. CMC's first game back, just more opportunities for Debo to wind up in the end zone for sure.
Completely agree. All right, who do we like for a multiplier? What do we have for Devonta Smith? 1.4x. And what about Mr. Brown? He probably doesn't have any because he hasn't practiced. Trying to think of just some guys I like for. What about Garrett Wilson, actually? 1.22x. That gets us to 106x. So we can octopus that $10 to win roughly $1,061, depending on how my opponents do. So that will be A-Chain, Gibbs, Tracy not to score a touchdown, Dobbins, Hunt, Barkley, Debo, Garrett Wilson. So there we go. Bang.
I put that on there, or in my, I entered it, but just because that I love Tyrone Tracy so much, I'm gonna reuse this. I'm taking him out, and I'm subbing in my large, fast son, Bijan Robinson, to score a touchdown as well.
I think that's very good. Yeah, this week's BR it's brutal. I have like multiple Flacco Downs teams. That is where we're at in BR this week. Okay, I have an idea. Okay, let's take some of these high Cardi ones and let's do the ladder.
Great use of tools here.
Yeah, let's do receiving yards and let's see if we can find a ladder. These are all really disgusting. Foster Moreau, that's a good one. That's actually Jalen Coker. There you go. That is a good one.
Wow. They had 25?
Jalen Coker. Mingo has been traded. So let's ladder this to what Cardi has it at.
Knocking on our door, man. This is fantastic.
I mean, look at this.
Cool.
Cardi has Coker for more yards than this, and we can ladder it up on Underdog to 1.15x.
Just a cool
1.15x.
Nothing wrong with that. So Slayton is out for the Giants. I know Cardi has looked like he had a lower on Neighbors. I saw it.
Yes, he does.
This isn't doing a slider on the Giants. This is, I forgot whose show I'm on. Let's continue.
That's the Giants, bro. Well, Derek is trying to get in my bad graces, trying to get me to take a lower on Justin Jefferson. That's definitely not happening. He's not loving a ton of.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. No, let's get Tipton laddered to Cardi has him for roughly this. So let's ladder Tipton to 49.5.
Oh, baby.
Okay, that is a 9x multiplier right now. Just theoretically, if we laddered Derek Carr, what does that get us? I wonder what the negative correlation penalty would be. Let's get him to 229. Yeah. It penalizes us a little bit. It gets us, instead of 17 point. I mean, please do not make me do math on
how much we're getting docked.
Yeah, we are definitely getting docked a little bit. I don't know how much, but we are getting docked a little bit. So
when we're looking at 17x for 3, like, at that point it's negligible, but yeah, we don't have to do it. But at that point, just like, I don't care.
Let's do this. Right. Let's ladder Trey McBride.
Yeah.
Mr. McBride. Let's ladder him.
How high you want to take it?
69.5. Cardi has him for 63.6. So let's do 69 and a half.
A very realistic pick'em that we're getting 27x on. 28
extremely. And you know what? We can even reuse players. In fact, let's do this. Let's do it. I'm gonna do 5 on this one standard, and then I am going to wait. How do I make sure to reuse players?
Yep.
Bang. Reuse players. And now I can flex it. Incredible. Oh, I have to wait 30 seconds. Wow, there's protection there.
Mm-hmm, yeah, it's well, you just did this. But it is nice if you're like tacking on or something, or it's helpful.
No, that's true. Last night, I needed a Lamar Jackson rushing touchdown. He got tackled at the 1-inch yard line and gave it to Derrick Henry. I had Chase ladders, Chase Brown ladders, Mark Andrews ladders. Not ideal,
man.
Not ideal. That sequence of Lamar not scoring that rushing touchdown is about as brutal as it
man,
gets.
when he was like scrambling at the 30. Oh God, that's brutal.
That was brutal. All right, that was the ladder entry. You come up with a theme now.
Okay. I mean, I love sliding. I love doing these sliders here. But we do something on off and on the clock. Like we don't do it as much anymore, but it's the Haterade where we throw a bunch of lowers in a pick'em. And try to
all lowers, all low, beautiful. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So let's get the Haterade out and see what we can do.
Okay, let's go.
But we don't have to do Haterade on players that we like. It's extra sweet when it's like we don't even like this player.
No, we want to do it. We want to do it on guys we don't like.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start here. Let's go. Receiving yards. Why can I not see? There we go. Rush yards. All right. Jonathan Taylor, lower receiving yards. Easy hater. Jonathan Taylor, 103 rushing and receiving yards. My God.
Lower scrimmage or receiving?
No, let's do this. It's so funny. Every once in a while you can catch Underdog in this, by the way. They'll price these wrong. So right now you're actually getting value clicking the lower on 20.5 receiving yards. It's internally meant to be set to 19.5, but every once in a while you can catch them if you mess with the slider.
Yeah. You got to click the sliders.
You got to click the sliders. Who else do we want to pour some Haterade on? Joe Mixon, buddy.
Okay.
I would love to pour some Haterade on Joe Mixon. Are you on board with that?
Yeah. Do you want? I think for Mixon, what's your preference here? Do you want to do just rushing?
No, we could do the combo yards.
Yeah, I want to look at his usage. Like,
he's playing a lot.
So committed to using him, but like this is going to be the toughest opponent they face in quite a while.
He doesn't play the 2-minute drill and like third downs. Dare Ogunbowale plays all those. So the dump down season. I mean, not to say he will get dump downs on early downs, but he is not a big part of dump down season.
I kind of like the scrimmage yards on the lower.
Okay. Bang. I'm going to do, wow, you get a lower multiplier on Joe Mixon. I'm going to do lower on 99.5 scrimmage yards for Mr. Mixon. That is some easy Haterade. I don't want to hate on Bijan Robinson.
Absolutely not.
I don't really want to hate on Malik Neighbors, to be honest. I could do David Montgomery lower rushing yards. That's the same theory. I mean, it's a tough game for both teams. It just ends up being more of a rock fight than either team wants, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I can get down with that.
Yeah. And, that could be something that changes in game, like Gibbs is running way better, whatever. You get even money on 58. And although, look at that, you get an extra 0.05x if you do higher. So again, we caught him. We caught him in the middle of chopping and changing on this is a great point someone just said.
One of them?
Keenan. Let's do Keenan.
What do they got for him?
41.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
I tend to agree. I think that game is going to be a lot of running. I think that game is going to be a lot of I want it to be, actually my brother-in-law is going to that game and I want it to be good for his sake, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be kind of a painful game.
I wonder what the weather's like in Chicago for that game.
Honestly, it's very nice there right now.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a great haterade, Nez. You're not gonna like this. This is your team.
Oh man, no. See, I like this because I'm of the belief that the Commanders' defense is just like good, and nobody wants to admit it.
No, it's true. Let's do lower 209.5 passing yards for Mr. Wilson.
Okay, I think they're gonna end up trying to run the ball a lot too.
Najee week, people are saying.
I'm saying it.
Yeah. Nez is a field. It's good. Nez should be a Fields truther. It's Jay Fields.
I root for fun, and honestly, Fields deserves a chance elsewhere. I mean, DJ Moore right now is like throwing a fit because he wants Fields back in Chicago. I mean, you're seeing it right in front of our eyes.
It's true. Yeah. Here's the thing, coolers. We already took the hire on Cooper Rush, so it is too late. Do you have anyone else you want to add to the haterade, or do you want to do a 5-legger?
I think five's good. What do you think?
6-legger, according to my YouTube chat, continually is the best EV. That six legs is the EV that you want.
A 6 with the flex is the move.
Is the move? Yeah,
okay.
you are because it vacillates between. God damn it! They always tell me it vacillates between 112 and minus 112, minus 124 odds.
Got it.
So going the extra leg chops and changes you in the way that you want.
Well, I would throw a haterade on Tony Pollard. The only downside of this is that he might not play, but I think he is going to play. We saw this practice report story with him last week where he didn't practice all week and then he ended up playing. I think that the Chargers are, like I said, are just a really good team. Tony Pollard gets a lot of work, but the Chargers defense is legit. So
I got it right. I got the math right.
Beautiful.
God,
beautiful.
I feel so proud. All right, let's do lower. I was gonna say it's not worth it to me. Doing that multiplier is not worth it. Lower 63.5. Getting 4 of these right basically gets our money back. So that's you can't complain. You can't complain about getting your money back. So the all haterade leg, did it go? There we go.
There it is.
All right. Jonathan Taylor, lower 20.5 receiving yards. Joe Mixon, lower 99.5 rushing plus receiving yards. David Montgomery, lower 58.5 rushing yards. Keenan Allen, lower 41.5 receiving yards. Russell Wilson, lower passing yards. Tony Pollard, lower rushing yards. Putting that in the chat. Putting that in the YouTube description. All right, Nez, we need to fire one more. What direction do we want to take this one in? We got to do another A-legger. We got to do another. We
need a moon ball for sure.
It's true. It hurt me to do that.
I'm sorry, man. Lower. I'm sorry. I'm such a
well, let's just slappy. No, I like to do this. I like to do my best ball bags.
That's a good idea.
So let's ladder Justin Jefferson to 119.
How high will they let us take him? 19? Okay, 119. That's fine with me.
I mean, we can go. Well, it's going to be 8 legs anyway, so we're going to flex. So let's do Justin Jefferson. Let's do Justin Jefferson to 139.5.
Well, we're gonna run out of picks to add because it's gonna max out.
Well, not if we take Bijan touchdown or whatever, that brings us back towards equilibrium. Okay. Justin Jefferson had 137 receiving yards last week. We did not do the Nick Westbrook-Akine. I wonder what it's priced at.
Is it even on here?
Oh, it's on here. 2.92x. I mean, that's definitely the lowest multiplier for a guy who's had 5 touchdowns in a row of all time. I'm not clicking it, but I'm not telling you you're wrong to not do it.
Oh my God, I love that play.
All right, let's Nez nominate one of your bags.
I will nominate Bijan. I've got a lot of Bijan Robinson. Famously, I have the most Bijan and Debo combined in Best Ball Mania, but I think Bijan and there's no scrimmage yards on here, so we've got a fat multiplier on JJ.
Let's just take a tud.
Touchdown? Okay.
Yeah, let's take a tud. I also am super overweight on Debo Samuel. Now, I really would like for there to be scrimmage yards on him, but this is a good multiplier. Let's take him to 69.5 receiving yards. The thing is, the second you take him is the second he takes an end around 74 yards to the house. So let's actually skip that.
For the sake of our bags, we're not gonna jinx it.
For the sake of our bags, let's not jinx it. Let's do Travis Kelce higher 69.5 receiving yards, 14 targets less. I don't know. Do you have Kelce bags? Maybe you're not a Kelce bag holder.
I was big on the reach for the Chiefs stack guy. And
so you are also having a bad season in Best Ball Mania 5, just like me?
A few of my teams that were looking awesome in June are no longer looking awesome. But I would do it all over again, man. I mean, here's the thing that they can't take away from us is that we were right. It's just everybody got hurt, but we were right to do it.
No, if Hollywood never gets hurt, totally different universe. Hollywood doesn't get hurt. The high flying Chiefs are so back.
The thing that's what pisses me off the most is everyone was telling me and telling everybody else that Hollywood sucks, guys. You can't take Hollywood Brown. Don't you know he's not good? But he's playing with Patrick Mahomes. Oh God, that's such a shame. He would have absolutely stopped.
Like DeAndre Hopkins, who was averaging 17 yards a game, is now going to be the 14th best wide receiver in fantasy because he's playing with Pat now.
God, this quickly turned into a cope sesh, but man, the Hollywood stuff would have been so fun.
Do you have May bags? Are you a May bag holder?
I'm above average.
Okay.
I will say, I mean, we could do it. I like to give the chat a chance to contribute. You just don't beat Chicago through the air, but Drake May is a different beast.
What about Drake May? 39.5 rushing yards.
Now we're talking. Now you're talking my language.
He had 95 rushing yards last week. Here's the thing, Charlie. Yes, you're right. It is a choice. It's not a very good choice, but I can do it.
But the thing is that the thesis, the analysis that was done was just incorrect. You can't it's Hollywood and the Chiefs are just a different situation.
A different beast.
You can't look at those past results and just say yeah, he was a bad pick. I'm sorry, but he got hurt. So
you can say it, but I don't have to agree with you.
Yeah, and I will.
All right, we've got. This is a big bag team: May, Kelce, Bijan, Jefferson. Let me pull up my BBMDB and see if there's anyone else. Exposures, Davis Mattek, Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle would be a big one. What do we got?
What's he looking like? Because I don't hate that. We can do something here, man.
Longest rush, brother. I would like to take his receiving yards.
Yeah.
You know what? Going deep is right. This team is absolutely screaming for something with Kyle Pitts.
I don't have Pitts bags.
No. I want yards. I want yards with Pitts.
They're rugging us here.
A-Chain. Okay, A-Chain. Yeah, A-Chain. Yeah. That's a good bag. So we'll do A-Chain to get. My God, his scrimmage yard stuff is crazy.
Crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, he deserves it. Let's just take the touchdown. I mean,
I know that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so hard to not go touchdown because, like, he's gonna score. He's such a high usage red zone guy for them, and it's a multiplier.
And like, he doesn't have fantasy points. I'll say the move you want on A-Chain is like, I think last week it was 13.5. It'll be 15.5 this week. Just take the fantasy points.
Yeah,
that's the.
We've got room to run here, Davis. We're only at 44x because we're gonna flex this thing. So we can continue to have some more fun on this.
Do they have Jalen McMillan posted anywhere? Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
They don't.
He's got the injury.
All right, no Jalen McMillan. What about Xavier Leggett? Are you a Leggett bag holder?
You got that Cetaphil on me. Have you seen this?
He's got
skincare routine video.
No, he's the best. I've not seen that, but his
accent
is all time.
God, dude. They asked me, they're like, "What's your skincare routine?" Not I put that Cetaphil on me. I need it.
Can I sell you on a Xavier Leggett touchdown?
Yeah, sold.
Xavier Leggett, you might not think about it.
Oh, but that maxes us out though. It maxes.
Oh shit! Does it really?
It tells me that yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Removed. We need to add more. We need to add more to the bags.
A single like a single multiplier, no doc, no nothing, takes us to 111, and we can do 2 more like regular picks before we start to get diminishing returns, I believe.
Okay.
Unless we do a negative doc. Of course.
No, that's easy enough to deal with. Let's do Rome Odunze higher receiving yards.
I've taken a lot of Rome in the BRs, so I'm with it.
All right, there you go. We need one last one. Adam, yes, whatever you lose on DraftKings can be deducted from Underdog and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, Nez, you make the final pick of the stream. We will submit this and we will try and find a winner.
Oh,
crawl deep in your bags.
So okay, a bags pick. Let me go on bbmdb.com because I was gonna throw something out there for Bills receivers, but let's not.
I do like the Shakir stuff is crazy. I mean, I love him. I do love him this week. Yeah. Downs is not a huge bag for me. I got woke to Downs too late, and I wasn't taking Richardson either, so not a huge bag pick for me.
I gotta go to exposures here. I have a 14% Downs, but his pick'ems are pretty frothy. Let's see here. Bijan Debo got that. Keenan, no. I do have 20% DeAndre Hopkins. That's a fun little bailout.
Oh, buddy. I've never seen an easier 1.22x in my life than DeAndre Hopkins to record. I mean, that is he is going to be the most owned wide receiver on DraftKings this week. I mean, that is just all right. I hope everyone enjoys their wealth generated from right there. I mean, come on, if one of these doesn't hit, I will be so flummoxed. Justin Jefferson,
amazing.
139.5. Bijan Tud, Kelsey 69.5 receiving yards. May rushing yards, ladder to 39.5. A-Chain touchdown. Rome 38.5 receiving yards. DeAndre Hopkins 59.5 receiving yards. That is in the chat. It is also in the YouTube description. If you are watching this on playback, Mr. Nez, tell the people about Off and On the Clock and about this show that people are going to get redirected to from this stream that you're doing with Pete today.
Yeah. So Off and On the Clock, a show with Peter Overzet. He is the best battle royale player of all time, some are saying. And
some are saying it.
So we're talking through the NFL battle royales, dog bulls, 12-person drafts, 6-person drafts, and doing more pick'ems if you like doing pick'ems as well. We do that every week on Fridays. It's usually with myself, Pete, and John Warner, aka Roto Run. He's on a yacht this weekend, so it's me and Pete. And I think if you guys like Underdog, and you haven't checked that show out, I think you guys would appreciate it. Thank you, Davis, for the redirect and for having me on, man.
Yeah, Nez, I mean, to be honest with you, it's an absolute pleasure to have you. I've done most of these shows by myself, and there's only so many times I can say ship it to myself in 1 hour. So I really appreciate it.
I got you.
Ashton, you're welcome. Thank you for the free $5,400. I'm just already dreaming of how many times I can enter the main NBA Battle Royale. Once we hit one of these, I'll be able to auto draft 100% Andre Drummond, who's getting benched for Gershon Yabusele. Guys, we are going to get out of here. Thank you for watching. If you are watching this on replay, please comment below your favorite Underdog DFS Pick'em entry of the week. You guys can check out Unabated to use all the tools that Nez and I were using on this stream. There's a link to that in the description of this show. And yeah, we're going to get out of here, and I'll be back on Sunday morning. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense